Welcome to Masters at Wagtail. Well, I'm starting to make progress. Two of my jobs called me to come back to work. So one of my five guys called me back. I'm just going to go and try and clean the other one. If they turn me away, then they just turn me away. But I would assume if one five guys call me back, the other should. But when I asked the store manager, see, we have a personal relationship. I try to have personal relationships with all my accounts. This is what keeps you locked down to them. You know, they stay loyal to you. Plus, besides the fact that I'm not charging a whole lot and I never raise my price with them, because these are dedicated, loyal customers. I tend to leave those alone. But she actually told me, no, that's my decision. I run this store. I said, you can come back. I said, it's just for this one cleaning. She said, no, you can come back to work, period. I said, oh, well, that's fantastic. That one is a weekly account. This other one is a deli, and it's a once-a-month account. I will be showing some footage of these jobs on my route work tomorrow. So come back and join me sometime tomorrow. I don't know what tool I'm going to use, but I think maybe I'll use the Slipstream Plus, but I'm not certain because I haven't been to them in a while, and I know they're going to be really, really filthy. I can get it done with any tool, no matter how dirty it is. I'm just saying. But what I've noticed is that I told you, some of you, that I've gotten a job, you know, to get me by until this pandemic thing is over. Epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Because I wouldn't call it an epidemic. They just making it seem that way. Because, like I said, more people died of the regular flu and other, situations, but they never shut a whole country down for it. You know what I mean? So, it's something else behind the scenes. But I'm not going to get into all that. This ain't the video for that. Because some of you are in denial, and it's way over your heads. It's a lot deeper than you think. But what I've noticed is that in the 6 to 7 hours a night that I do deliveries, if I'm making $11 an hour, right? Follow me here. I'm making $11 an hour. And the tips average anywhere on a low end $27, anywhere on a high end up to $55. Usually the $55 is on a weekend thing, but any other day, like Friday and Saturday, any other day during the week, it's like $25, $36, $37. That ain't enough. That's chump change. You feel me? That's chump change. That goes in the gas tank. That's what I burn in the shift, because I got a V8. I'm burning like $30 in gas almost. Not quite, but you might as well say by the time you get gas, get a drink, get something to snack on, because it's not like you're taking a 30-minute or 15-minute break to eat a full lunch. So you just grab stuff on the go. That stuff add up too now. So now you're really talking about not making a profit at all. You're just relying on your check to pay stuff, to get bills. That little bit of tip money will get you enough gas money and get you through the week of work with some drinks and food or what have you. If you're very, very conservative, which you can't be making money like that. You can't be conservative. At the end of the week, you might, if you're working 5 to 6, 7 days a week, you might have $100 to $150 in tips. Maybe just a tad bit more. But I know every day is not the same. Just like every customer is cheap. They order like $50 to $100 worth of food in one order and don't have the cojones to tip. You know what I mean? They're cheap in there, in the ghetto. in the hood, they cheat. Nobody got money like that. So the money that I'll be making tomorrow on these 2 jobs that call me back to work is a little over $100. All right. Now follow me here. For me to make a little over $100, I would have to work 8 to 9 hours. And let's not talk about Uncle Sam's cut. I'm talking about 8 to 9 hours to get what I'm getting tomorrow on these 2 jobs. You know how long it takes me to do these 2 jobs? Less than 2 hours. Thereabouts. Because they're dirty, I'll have to probably spend a little more time on it than I'm used to. But that's okay. But $100 in 2 hours. You see, I took that as nothing before because it is what it is. But when that's taken away from you, something like that is taken away from you, and you're resorting to working for wages by the hour, you really, really start to see you don't realize what you have until it's gone type of thing. So no matter how your situation is, somebody got it worse than you. And that somebody is me, because a lot of us lost our jobs. So we had to find other means to get by. And when you compare the two, there is no comparison. It's almost like amen to those 2 jobs. It's always been that way, but y'all get what I'm saying. You welcome 2 jobs. 2 jobs is 8 crap to some people. But when you compare it to somebody like me, driving 6-7 hours a night and only get $70 on a shift and maybe $20 or $30 in labor, you're still talking about the same amount or even less. But you're working 6 hours to get it, versus I'm only working 2 hours to get it. Now my wages aren't always the same either, because I can make more than that in an hour's time on the right job. But that's all about the individual. You know what your worth is. You see, this is frequent residual income. So you can't charge normal wages. This is what I've been trying to tell y'all for those who are scared or even think about going into route work. You got to think in terms of value. This is the only way you're going to make it in route work. It's residual, consistent income all seasons long. As long as you can get out there in the cold, you will always have that money. And you will always have that money if they're under contract. But just verbally and just building a relationship, it's just like having a contract. They feel obligated to stay with you because you've been more than fair to them. And these customers are customers that you need to focus closely on. Closely. And reward them whenever you can. It could be a gesture. Knowing that you're there every week or every couple of weeks, you may see some high dusting in the corners of their restaurant or whatever establishment. It takes you 2 seconds to put a dust brush on that pole tip and knock those cobwebs down for something that seems very minute, very minuscule. To them, it means the world and everything. And the gesture goes a long way. They will say, would you like something to eat? They will remember this and they will stick by you. Believe it or not, take my word for it. But do you really think you have enough room in your pants to be careless like that? It can only help. And what is it hurting? A few seconds of your time. You know what I mean? For some that don't agree that you should just go ahead and start doing extra things for your customers, you're highly mistaken. And you are most likely chasing money. And you're a pig in life. But that's all I got to say on the subject. When you get back to work, if and when some of you do full time, 100%, Do not take it for granted. This is a time, an opportunity to actually evaluate your business and realize what you have and realize the things that you need to do to stay afloat. So in the event something like this does happen, you're more better prepared because you took the necessary precautions. And given the fact that you've already been in this situation, you may have changed. But this is Masters at Wagtail, and I'll see you in the next one because I'm running out of memory.